What is up, my viewers? Spang here, bringing you yet another, the latest installment in my A.S.Q series, Ask Spang Questions. Now, this is the response section to your submissions. So, hopefully I can answer your questions. We kind of determined last time, or at least you gave me some feedback, saying you preferred the face, some of you suggested perhaps I do gameplay in the background or something like that, maybe kind of make it a mixed live commentary, a response to questions sort of thing, but that kind of can't work due to the fact that like the questions are on my computer, and if I have a game up, I can't really look at the questions unless I wrote them down, and that means my attention is divided. And needless to say, I didn't think it was that great of an idea. Not to shut you guys down who suggested that, but I'm just saying I don't think it would have worked out. But anyway, I'm going to kind of be going on this a little rapidly so I can actually get this done. I have to go to work here in about 15-20 minutes, so hopefully I can answer your questions. Also, like the shirt, free shirts, awesome, right? So first questions, well, actually a few of you submitted some questions of, well, why don't you play more of this type of tank, or why don't you why don't you do more commentaries of light tanks or scouts or tank destroyers, or why don't you do more German tanks or Russian tanks, or and that simply comes down to I only have 7,000 some odd battles played, and unless I own the tank or unless you guys send in a replay of the tank, I can't do a commentary on that tank. And I do not own a 50-2, otherwise known as a Dashy, at least that's what I call them, or anything. So I don't own all the tanks. So if you really want me to do a commentary on a specific type of tank, you gotta more or less send it in. And I can bring out a list later of all the tanks I currently have, and I can try to keep that updated, but I'm not going to do that right now. Next question was basically from Press45201, who asked, what is your best tier, your best tier tree? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Obviously, there's an extra "the" in there. So what is your best tier tree? What do you mean by that? The tank tree I have the most things researched on? If you mean that, that's a hard... I'm pretty divided, actually. I have quite a few tanks researched on all the three main branches, and by the three main trees, I mean the Russian, USA, and German. I don't really have that much researched on the French, and I don't really have that much researched on the Chinese or British, so obviously not those. But if I had to say, probably... Ooh, that's a tough one. It's either the American or German, because I don't think it's the Russian. But let's just say American. I started researching that tank tree second. The first thing I ever researched was the German artillery line. So, yeah, I'm one of those players that you hate. Sorry. And by one of those players, I mean artillery players. There's a comment on why don't you play more of this tank? I like seeing your face. It works good. Smiley face. Okay, here's a decent one. Baba Wethu asked, what tier is your favorite, and which nation of tanks is your favorite? And he proceeds to say, or she, I don't know. You guys don't, YouTube doesn't really specify gender a lot of the time, so, and I didn't look at your profiles beforehand. I'm not a creepy stalker or anything, but, my favorite tier, also a tough one. I suppose tier 8's a good tier. Yeah, honestly, I have to say I like tier 8. Tier 10's kind of fun. Tier 10 can be fun, especially considering a lot of times as a tier 10 tank player, you don't really have to rely as much on your team. Therefore, if your team sucks, you're kind of in a better position to do something about it as a tier 10, as opposed to if you're a tier 8 in a tier 10 battle. If you're a tier 10 in a tier 10 battle, well, and your team sucks, you can kind of do something about it. Otherwise, you really can't. But honestly, I think tier 8's a lot of fun to play. I think every tier can have its moments. Tier 1 actually can be a lot of fun to play, but I honestly think I do like playing tier 10 the best. I think that's a safe bet. Yes, it's an easy way to lose a lot of money, but at the same time, it is the most intense form of battle a lot of the time. So it's kind of choose your poison, I suppose. But anyway, Popeye985 asked me, do you just accept all the replays we send you or the ones you think are good enough? Now, I went into this in my replay submissions tutorial video thing, whatever you want to call it, and basically said I was. Basically, if you guys send in a replay, I didn't pre-screen it beforehand. I just went right into that thing, did a one-take, one-time commentary of it, and then I uploaded it to my channel. And that was more or less because I like not knowing what's going to happen, and also I like... I had so many replays, I needed to do that to get through all of them. And also, I'm too much of a nice guy to simply say, I reject your replay. It sucks, and I won't do it. I'm too much of a nice guy to do that. Now, I have found a friend who is not... I'm not going to say he's not a nice guy, but he has an easier time being... giving people bad news, I suppose. And so I will be uploading an addition to the replay submissions video saying this guy will be handling all my replay submissions. He will be pre-screening them for me. He's basically my quality control. And so he should be sending you guys in the future replies to your submission emails saying this got rejected or accepted, and he may or may not include a reason. He's still trying to work out how he wants to reply to them. But simply, I used to, and I won't be anymore, and that is accepting all your replays. And by no means, please keep sending them in. Just be aware that there is a chance it won't be commentated. And that's simply due to the numbers you guys are sending in, and also as a means of quality control of bringing you guys a better level of entertainment. It's kind of hard to do a good commentary on a video that, on a replay that really didn't have that much interesting thing. You know, didn't have any interesting moments, didn't have that good of a performance. Now, if you don't do that well, honestly, you can learn as much from a bad game as you can from a good game, if not more. It's not always easy to point out what someone does right, but it's very easy to point out what someone does wrong. And I don't know if you want that, though. If you're sending me a replay, I don't know if you really want me just saying, wow, you're a horrible player, and you did this and this and this and this and this wrong, and you suck, and you should uninstall your game. Like I said, I'm too much of a nice guy to ever be that blunt about it, but there will be quality control implemented. Also, what is your favorite map, and what TD line do you recommend? Now, that was a question from Gregud Askater. I'm sorry. Oh, Greg, something like Gregud Askater or something. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name. But when you don't put capitals in there for specifying what words are separate words, and it's just all lowercase, it's kind of hard to know how to pronounce it. You can't fault me for that, really. But anyway, the question, reiterating, was what was your favorite map, and what TD line do you recommend? Now, favorite map, it really depends on the tank. Artillery, I like wide open maps like steppes, obviously. I hate city maps as artillery. But if I'm playing more of a city brawler tank like an IS-7... or maybe a T110E4. Yeah, I love city maps. Erlenberg is great. Runeberg is kind of fun. Okay, Erlenberg I don't really like. I take that back. Erlenberg with those 3 bridges. I kind of hate that map. But under any circumstances. But it really does depend on the map. If I am a medium tank, I do prefer more open maps. Maps with lots of ways to attack and flank the enemy. Same with artillery. I like maps that don't let people hide that well. So it really does depend on the map. But if I had to pick an overall favorite map, definitely not Campanovka. No. Maybe. I don't know if I can do it. I honestly can't do it. But TD line. What TD line do I recommend? The French. And one reason why. Their tier 10 tank has a 3-shot, 850 damage per shot cannon. And so you can kill a tier 10 in one clip in the span of less than 10 seconds. Then you have a long reload, but then you just back up. And honestly, from what I've observed in my own encounters with French tank destroyers, they have good frontal armor. They do very well for themselves. But you will have a lower damage, faster firing gun up until the tier 10. And once you get the tier 10 tank destroyer of the French line, you get that 3-round, 850 damage per shot autoloader. And it is a thing to be feared. Every time I see one of those tank destroyers, I get worried for my team. Unless it's on my team, then I'm like, oh, awesome, we have it. So, but yes. Now, finally, I am really running out of time here. I need to speed this up. So, 3 things, I suppose. First of all, I will be doing live commentaries. And by live commentaries, I mean live streaming. I will be doing live streaming once I hit 500 subscribers. That is the mark I set for myself. Once I hit 500 subscribers, I'll be doing live streams probably once a weekend, if that. Now, second, what was the second thing? That's a good question. Let's Plays. Do you guys want to see me do Let's Plays of other games? Or do you really just want me to stay committed to solely World of Tanks centered content? Or do you want me to expand out, play some other games? Maybe you could recommend some games to me that I could upload to my channel. I did some Let's Plays in the past. They didn't get nearly as many views as my World of Tanks videos, so I kind of died off from those, saying, well, maybe later. And it is later, and I just want to get your guys' feedback on that. Now, thirdly, what is the third thing? I guess it was along the lines of I will be doing Platoon nights here also once I get 500 subscribers, and not Platoon nights, I retract that, company nights. I will be doing company nights, and most likely we'll start off with tier 6. It's that middle ground, the medium tank companies that everyone kind of can get to tier 6 within a decent amount of time. A lot of people own tier 6s, so don't expect me to be doing any champion or absolute companies, just medium companies for now. And that, like I said, that will also start once I hit 500 subscribers. Right now I'm at 200 something, and excuse me, I'm a little off, but it's on the way. Now, this upcoming weekend, if you pay attention to when this was uploaded, there will be nothing uploaded because I'm going to meet up with some friends out in Las Vegas for a convention. And no, it's none of your business, although some of you might be able to guess if you know enough about me, if you've pieced together enough information about me. But I will be there, and I will be doing stuff, and it will be a good weekend, but I will be gone Thursday night until Monday morning, and therefore no videos will be uploaded, so deal with it. I'm sorry. But that is all the time I have for now. Right now, I really need to go to work. I need to get into those, and I need to get out the door. So thanks for watching. If you like this series, if you want to see the series continue, please hit that like button. Let me know. If you think it's stupid, hit that dislike button. Let me know. If you've got any comments or observations, no questions. This is not the submissions portion. That will be coming out shortly, probably towards the end of the month. And then you can ask your questions of me. But this is not where you ask me questions. That video is coming up. But any thoughts, comments, ideas on how I can improve this, and so on and so forth, just put that in the comment section below. If you have any sort of feedback, please give it to me. And like I said, I really gotta go. This has been Spang, and I am signing off. Let me find this freaking Logitech. There we go. Also, yeah, I can't edit this. One shot, one take, done. I might get a file converter in the future, but until then, this has been Spang, and like I said, I am signing off.